After having worked together to produce The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, Mamoru Hosoda and Yuichiro Saito decided to found Studio Chizu, an auteur studio as Saito would say, and right away do they prove their capability by releasing the modern classic Wolf Children. The opening frame alone displays this level of care and artistry put into the film. It's the melodic tones sprinkled throughout, though, carrying a sense of warmth that shines even during the darker moments. The story is centered on a young woman named Hannah, who's tasked with raising her 2 human wolf newborns, and amidst the struggles of caring for every possible need, she refuses to relent even in the slightest. Overall, it's an uplifting tale of a mother going against all the odds to give her children the chance to choose between being a human or being a wolf.
Man.
Yeah.
You watched this today, right?
I did. I watched this today.
I'm going to start this with the comments, by the way. Hold on, let me get the comments.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like, no, because we need to get like a good idea of what the people are in for here.
Right. Let me know what the people thought, because I know what I think.
All right, I have 4. First one goes, How to Cry Till You're Dehydrated, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Second one goes, If it makes you feel any better. In the manga, it shows that Ame does visit her and leaves her fruit every once in a while.
I would have expected that in the first place. Ame cares about his mother.
3, Note to self, never get impregnated by a wolfman.
I will try to keep that one in mind. It'd be a little harder for me than most, but...
And the last one is, oh, look, it's the movie that killed me inside.
This movie's supposed to do the opposite of that, though. I understand what they mean, because it just takes all your guts and it wrenches them from side to side occasionally, but...
Did you also just not want to go through the minute the first opening scene came in?
No, I wanted to see more.
No, I was feeling it. The very first frame came up and the music started playing. I said, "Oh, what am I in for?"
What if we just sat in this field for the next 2 hours? What if we just didn't do the movie?
Oh my god! Because the music, the very first song they play, you're like, "This isn't gonna be a very fun movie, is it?"
It's one of those, huh?
It is very fun, but it does kill you in certain parts.
Yeah, this when I finished watching the movie, I felt you do that thing all the time when like you watch something sad but also happy and it makes you feel things and you just have to sit and watch through the credits and contemplate what you just spent your time watching. I did that, but it was 4:00 in the afternoon and it felt like I needed to go to bed and cry myself to sleep.
Damn, I'm lucky I did this at the night.
Yeah, because you got to do that.
But then I had to rewatch it.
Did you watch it again today?
No, because the first time, because this is the first time we've done one where I haven't seen it beforehand. So I had to like fully immerse myself the first time around. I had to get every little grasp of it and then go back and do the plot points and all that stuff.
Did you watch it back to back?
Usually when I do this, I watch it and pause like every 5 seconds to write something down or like decide how I want to do something. But this one, I was like, well, I can't do that because then I would just ruin it for me.
No, I feel that. This is a movie that I also tend to take a decent amount of notes whenever we watch stuff, just because I'm bad at remembering things on the spot, so I want to remember things I want to actually talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But for especially the first half of this movie, you just kind of have to sit there and take it all in. When all's said and done, really not too much happens, but it's the way that it happens that you just kind of have to soak it all in.
Yeah, the way they present it, they don't give you a moment's rest.
No.
Not in the slightest. It's like the opening parts with her meeting the Wolfman, but that's his name, by the way. They don't give him a name.
They don't give him a name. I did notice that also.
He's called the Father or the Wolfman.
Yep.
And I don't like the way they treat him, but we'll get to that. Yeah, the moment they start like that, and then it just spirals into the Wolf Children, and then it keeps going, and and then at the very, very end, it sort of ends, and you're like, damn, I just really sat here for 2 hours, huh?
There was a moment like most of the way, not most, like halfway through the movie, where I did have to stop and see like how far in we were, and I realized I was only halfway through, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, in the original summary, I had a description of all the things that happened, and then I was gonna put, and this only is the first 30 minutes of the film.
And that the first 30 minutes of the movie is basically before it's like the first 20 minutes are basically before the kids are even born.
No, for the first 30 minutes is right when she's about to leave the city.
Yeah.
And then that's when the real movie starts.
Yeah. But first, unless you had something else you wanted to bring up.
No.
But first, before the movie itself, the man behind the movie, who's that guy?
Mamoru Hosoda?
Yeah, that guy.
You know that guy.
I know that guy. I'm for the audience.
Who's that kids guy out there?
Yeah.
Well, you guys read the opening part, The Girl Who Left Her Time. I believe that was his first original title.
That's the one he did with Madhouse.
Yeah, he was still at Madhouse when he did that. He did.
That is the one. And he did my favorite movie right after that.
Yeah, and then he did Summer Wars.
Oh no, excuse me. That's not my favorite one. I had the
Boy and the Beast. Boy and the Beast is after this one.
Yeah, hold on. I looked at the timeline earlier.
I got the wiki.
It's The Girl, Summer Wars, then he made Wolf Children, and then The Boy and the Beast. Yeah, so Boy and the Beast is my favorite work of his. But that's not to say that this dude's a legend.
Actually, though,
this dude is the best.
Like we're actually watching an animation director build a catalog of like classics.
Yes,
because you see this title, you see like he's only made 8 movies in the last 20 years.
Yep, and only 4 of them have been through his own studio.
Yeah, I don't even want to like be like, God damn it, Christian, you got me sick.
Sorry, buddy.
I don't even know if that's a lot or a little, because comparatively, the fact that we know his name is alone an achievement.
Yeah, I won't forget this guy. I'm gonna have to go back and watch these movies. It's been actually like 2 or 3 years since I watched The Boy and the Beast, and this movie made me want to go watch it again. I wanted to go watch it again, and then I didn't. After we watched Baron Omatsuri,
which is a One Piece movie.
Which is a One Piece movie that we watched in our other podcast.
It's arguably the best one of the first 7, 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say arguably. I would say it's the definitive best one that we've watched so far.
There's people out there that like the 5th or 4th.
Sure, but they would be wrong. This is my definitive best One Piece movie out of the ones we've watched. This guy's a god tier movie creator, director, animator, whatever.
Yeah, it's him and the other guy who gave him the platform.
Saito?
Yeah, Saito.
Yeah. Who he did
Yuichiro Saito.
The Girl Who Left Through Time with.
No, it's a different person. But still, they formed the studio just for this person to have the means of creating it. Because otherwise they would have to like bargain and
like
settle for like subpar, because they're under a different studio and they have to pay attention to the CEO of that company or something.
Yeah, it really from what because I also decided to look into him briefly, and also because I have his wiki up here for the movies. They really got angry with like Studio Ghibli when he was working for them, because he was working on one of their movies. But he was told constantly during the making of it that he needed to make the movie like Miyazaki would, and he was like, "But I'm not Miyazaki. I want to make my shit."
Yep.
And so eventually he just left because he wasn't allowed to make what he wanted. But yeah, this dude is. I'll easily recommend any of his movies over like any other anime movie.
So I think Summer Wars is sort of like the most casual one out of all of them.
Then you have this one that he makes 3 years later, or finishes 3 years later. And boy. All right, well, so let's talk about the actual movie now then.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off with your favorite opening shot.
The flower field.
Of a girl laying in the flower field, and there's a figure approaching. Now, given the title of the movie, they make it sort of look like a wolf at first. Then it turns out to be a man, but we don't see who it is. And you realize one of the first things actually is that the movie is narrated, but not by her daughter.
Back then, Mom was a student at a national university in Tokyo. She'd earned a scholarship to cover some of her tuition and worked a part-time job to take care of all the rest.
But yeah, so we've got Hannah, who we learn is this woman's name. She spots a lonely looking character in the middle of one of her lecture halls.
Classic.
Doesn't look like he really belongs there. He's just got a notebook and he's scribbling down random notes. No textbook, no nothing.
And then we get the montage.
Yeah, which is something that this guy does a lot too. Most of we talked about how like the first 20-30 minutes is really just Hannah and Wolfman, but there's also only like 2 minutes of dialogue in that entire time because you don't need it. Yeah,
this one has the most just time skips, I guess you could say.
It sounds like a weird word to use here, but montage is kind of like the word to use because it's a bunch of clips of them doing stuff with, you know, nice classical music over top. They take a trip into the forest where Wolfman reveals his Wolfman identity, and of course, because we have a movie, she's not afraid of him. We immediately cut to wolf sex, pretty much.
How'd you enjoy the transformation scene?
It's fine. A lot of what do you want me to say? It's the pinnacle of Animorphs technology in anime. Like I'm just happy they didn't do like the bone crunching.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. Definitely not. No, I was just talking about like the quality of like detail they put into the transformation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we saw it like in smooth motion.
Yeah, we have to imagine how much effort or time it took for them to guess or like try to figure out how do we make this not creepy, like you said, like no bone crushing, no like body weird shit.
Yeah, I'd say they achieved that pretty well.
It's pretty cool because they don't really do it often in the movie. They sort of find ways to like not show the transformation. The people just go from normal humans to wolves.
Yeah, there's a cut in between, or they duck behind something, whatever it is.
Yeah, and then we get the births of the two kids.
Yeah, the naming conventions for characters in this universe are low, but whatever. It's like getting water tattooed. Stupid Americans getting water tattooed on their arm. You know?
Yeah, but in kanji, so it looks cool.
Right, yeah, exactly. Could you imagine though if you walked around Japan and you just saw a dude who tattooed the English water on his arm? Just
no, that's the thing.
I'm sure it is. Where were we? I don't.
The kids are born.
Oh, but before that, I just wanted to mention how like you see Hannah go through all of these. Well, she realized she's pregnant, and she thinks about going to a hospital, but then she stops.
It was the day of, right? The day of she was gonna go in. I'm guessing she already took the test.
Yeah, she probably already realized she was, and she was gonna go in for medical advice as one does. But
and then she like big brain and said, "Wait a minute, this isn't smart."
Yeah, I could pop out a wolf cub, so maybe I shouldn't do this. So she educates herself on.
In a single day, she goes out to the library and buys like 16 books.
Yep.
In a single day.
Yep. She's got to know everything, man. You got to make sure this birth goes well.
Hana is built different.
She is. She resorts to books for everything.
And then out of nowhere, we get the nonsense.
Which nonsense?
His body being found in the river.
Right. Oh, we're gonna skip right to that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's not much between that.
No, I know. It's just montage of first child, then second child, and then he's dead. He's just dead.
It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's like the second child. My brother was born, as the narrator Yuki's gone, and then my brother was born, and then it happened on a rainy day.
It was raining that day. Dad stepped out, but the day wore on and he didn't return.
They just kind of killed him.
They just kill him for the sake of killing him, for getting him out of the way, to make Hannah a single parent.
It's just it's just a mysterious thing. They never really divulge into it. Later on, I sort of figured that he, much like the kid does later, he drowns. Yeah, he drowns. He had this instinct to go for a bird, fell in the river, and just drowned.
Yeah, they would also explain how he got where he did. He's just in like a large drainage area of the city. So he drowned somewhere, probably outside the city, fell into whatever and washed into the city through whatever channels. And she just, of course, happens to walk by as they're disposing of him. And holy hell, this is vicious.
They had no reason to do it that hard.
Yeah, this is hard.
They grab him, put him in a garbage bag, and toss him into the garbage truck.
Yep, and then they crush it because that's what garbage trucks do. And she runs over there, begs them for the corpse of this wolf, and the garbage disposal men are like, "Huh?
It's an animal.
This is a dead animal carcass. What do you on about, lady?" And she's got her 2 kids. She's running around in the rain with the 2 children strapped to her chest and back. And, she runs over there, kneels at their feet, begging them for the body. They don't care. They throw the corpse in the garbage truck. They crush it. They drive away. And that's the last we see of Wolfman.
They were so savages when they made that scene because they show the whole scene. They show the whole putting it in the truck and then slowly getting crushed.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing. There's no audio here.
Nope.
You get as soon as she sees, or it's revealed to us, she drops the umbrella and we see the body in the river. All audio cuts out, and there's nothing until we cut to the next scene.
It was him. We'll never know what Dad was thinking that day. Maybe he was heeding the call of the wild. Instinct driving him out into the rain to hunt down fresh meat for his newborn and his mate.
And at this point, we kind of cut to like another 3 years later or so.
Yeah, well, the kids start growing up. They start developing their wolf traits.
Yeah, we see that they can pretty freely transform themselves from form to form.
Feed me. No.
Yeah.
And then she runs around.
They do a pretty good job of making, especially Yuki, because she's the active one, act very much like a dog.
They do a really good job transitioning the 2 forms, just like having them duck like a baby would, and then just going wolf.
Yeah. Well, the physical transformation, I meant like her personality in that instance.
Oh, yeah.
In these instances where she's like, I want food. I want to go for a walk. I need this. I want to go to nursery school. Wah, 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 wah. And then like when she gets her way, she like runs around excitedly like a dog would, like in their yard or something like that. So they give especially Yuki this very canine like personality to her, and the Ame a much more normal human 2-3-year-old personality, which of course, as we learn later, we do on purpose.
The old switcheroo.
Mm-hmm.
These are the killer scenes where she starts getting hassled.
Sorry about the noise. How am I supposed to sleep with him crying all the damn time, huh?
He's a baby. They cry.
Ah, that brat of yours needs a muzzle.
We don't allow pets in this building. Period. How many times do I have to tell you?
It wouldn't take but a minute and we'll be out of your hair before you know it, all right?
Can't come barging in here!
You refuse to cooperate with us, we'll have no choice but to assume neglect.
Just leave us alone!
I mean, how do you handle that? How do you handle having those 2 little kids and not letting them go to school?
Fuck me if I know.
Can't take them to the pediatrician or a vet.
Yeah, that was I kind of chuckled to myself. It's not necessarily meant to be a funny scene because she eats some silicone gel pellets.
And on the thing, it says do not consume, but she can't read.
Right, but she can't read. And Mom was busy doing something. I don't remember what she was doing.
Busy taking care of the other kids.
Yeah, she was busy being a mom, a single mom with 2 wolf kids. And, so Yuki's throwing up and she rushes out of the house to go to the doctor, and conveniently the pediatrician and the animal hospital are right across the street from each other, so you can have this 2-way street, the path goes off in 2 directions Robert Frost moment. Eventually she decides to do neither and just call them both on the payphone that also is conveniently right there, and she consults both of them for advice.
Can I have a snack?
But like, yeah, I couldn't help but laugh to myself about how nonsensical it is that they're just both right there and they're the only 2 things open. I mean, they have to be because they're hospitals and emergencies happen no matter what time of day it is, but just funny. I don't know.
Then we meet the grumpy old man.
Yep. And he's the grumpy old man who begrudgingly, quote unquote, teaches them how to survive. And we get some nice moments with her and the rest of the villagers, mostly older people, you know, trading secrets, trading.
Farming is an understatement here. She remodeled that whole house.
Right.
Because she moved into this broken down home.
Right. Yeah, she's with the realtor and the guy's like, yeah, I don't even really know why I brought you here. This is a garbage dump. Let's move on to I'll take it.
And are there any neighbors?
Well, only if you use the term loosely. There's no one around for miles. So, on to the next. There's a cute little house in the village. I think
I'll take it. This is the one I want.
It is?
All right, sure.
Any neighbors around? Not for 2 miles, Greg.
Where do I sign? And then for an unnamed amount of time, she renovates the entire house by herself. Does the roofing, fixes doors, fixes the floors.
That was a good montage.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, it's a very you want to say it's empowering because she does all of it herself, but also it's depressing because she has to do all of it herself.
What is that? Is it catch-22?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
For the most part.
I always hear that. I never know what that means.
I don't know. Yeah, we get these montages of her making the house better, and then several montages of her failing at farming.
When in the scene where the kids wake up, right? They're like, "Oh, where are we?" Do you think she gave them sleeping pills? I feel like she gave them sleeping pills.
They were asleep for a long time because clearly they drove several hours into the countryside.
And those roads are rocky. You see several scenes where the car bumps up and down.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if she gave them sleeping pills for the whole way.
Yeah, her last trip before she left the city was down to the animal hospital. It's like, you have any dog tranquilizer? Little kids are a pain in the ass as is. Now you make them wolf kids, and you have to be wary of the fact that they might accidentally transform in front of this guy. Or my guy Hosoda was just like, they were asleep for 12 hours straight. Who cares?
No chance. This is the mountains. This is nowhere near the city where she was.
No. So farming simulator.
Makes potatoes.
She makes potatoes. The guy back over the course of 12 hours. Grumpy old man. Like Narasaki is his name, or Nirasaki, something like that. Teaches her how to farm.
Is it strange to say I kind of want to be like this old man?
No.
Just know your shit. Know your shit. Look at the peons coming in. Choose who's worthy of your attention.
Yeah. No. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like something I could see you doing. An old version of you doing. Just crotchety old man sitting in the middle of nowhere waiting for some kid to try and build his own house, but do it really horribly.
You're doing it wrong. Walk away. And then the next day, no. The other screws. Walk away.
Yeah. Stupid. That needs a Phillips head. Yeah, he literally just like, we do that like 5 times where he tells her to do a thing, walks away, and then we cut to him walking back from that direction and goes, no. Do this now.
Furrows are next.
Okay.
Stop crowding them all together.
Right.
Too small. Make them bigger.
Sure.
There's also a scene where she like when she's beginning to learn how to farm, she goes out and she asks the farmers, "Hey, can I have these leaves for the fertilizer?" And they're like, "Why are you asking?
Why are you asking to take dried leaves from the forest?
Just take them."
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like that their aggressiveness is like, don't ask stupid questions.
Yeah, don't ever ask me that again. Because at this moment they're still kind of doubting whether she'll stick around or not, because they have lamented at this point several times to the audience and each other that new people, especially young ones that show up, don't tend to last because there's no coffee shops or internet cafes around.
There's no convenies.
Yeah.
It is nice to see the fruits of labor though when she does eventually get the potato, which is a lot of potatoes by the way. Like
there was a ton of potatoes.
Like a single little plant of 6 packs of potatoes is that one little plant.
Yeah,
and then she planted like 20 of them.
Yeah,
30. I don't know how many.
One plant that she pulls out of the ground has like 8 potatoes on it. Those are some super potatoes or something. I don't know. Maybe that's normal. I don't know anything about farming. Maybe that's a normal thing, but she's got a ton of potatoes around, and she realizes that this is why she was told to make another field, because she's got to give back now. So she goes around and everybody trades goods. Somebody gives her giant carrots. Somebody gives her a couple bags of something, grain, rice, whatever it was.
Some type of wheat.
Yeah. Some woman's got eggs, which shout out that woman in particular.
Eggs are amazing.
Eggs are so good.
Eggs. Why are they packaged though? You saw that, right?
Yeah, they were also, like, that didn't even occur to me. It didn't even occur to me to think that why would they be in normal egg cartons?
It looked like she went to the supermarket, bought 20 like cartons of eggs, and said, "I farmed these."
Which, to be fair,
she might own an egg business or something.
It could have been the truth, because we don't see a chicken farm at any point. So it's possible, I guess, she just went to town and bought eggs for her new neighbor that gave her potatoes. So
maybe,
who knows? And this was crotchety old man's wife too, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? I didn't know that. I like the part where they like see her fridge and they're like, "Oh, that's a cute little fridge you have." Because it's a standard sized fridge. It's like a fridge you see anywhere.
It might have been a little smaller, but
no, it looked really standard, dude.
Well, she's like crouching down to get into it though.
Okay, it might have been a little smaller.
So I think it's more akin to a mini fridge. Maybe like a half size fridge at most.
Then they bring around the Chungus fridge.
Yeah.
Just gathering dust out in the shed. At least this way it's going to good use.
But still...
We come back home with this thing, we're gonna catch hell from the old man.
Grandpa Nirasaki?
It's always Hana this and Hana that with him.
He's got a crush on her.
Don't be silly, he's 90.
Hey, all I know is that he told everyone to look out for you, Hana.
Idiot, that was a secret.
Yeah, this was definitely the mother of fridges right here.
It was nice to see, like, in the beginning of those scenes, her like sort of empty fridge. She had like one package of chicken.
She was still in college student mode.
Yeah, and then like they cut to the end, and then she has a whole fridge filled with random vegetables and stuff.
And there's still stuff strewn about on the floor too, which is why this woman is like, what is this? She's like chuckling to herself about how tiny and cute and adorable this fridge is, and she's like, "That's not going to hold all the vegetables I'm about to shove down your throat." Hey, old man, get the fridge, get the big boy. And then these two younger dudes roll Big Carl out from the shed, and
Big Carl.
Yeah, I decided the fridge's name is Carl.
I mean, okay.
And we learned that it was old man's fridge. She finally gets to thank the old man for everything he's done for her.
Throughout the whole time, he's always like, "Stop smiling. I don't like that. Stop doing that. It's creepy. It's ugly. Doesn't suit you." And eventually she realizes, no. He's not being mean. He's just grumpy.
Yeah.
It's just a grumpy dude. When she starts chuckling, like, "I can't believe I used to be scared of you."
Yeah, she just laughs at his face. He goes like, "Why you got that stupid smile on your face?"
I figured out why you had me plant so much. We're all in this together.
Give it a rest.
Huh?
Walking around with that smile on your face. What's so funny? You're just gonna stand there and laugh like a lunatic?
And she just laughs at him, and that's it. That's the scene. We cut away after that. We get all this. Eventually, Yuki decides she wants to go to school and bugs Hannah, mom, about it real serious. And we relent eventually.
Yeah, it's around here where we start seeing the shift in roles, where Yuki starts developing more human-like traits, and Ame starts sort of being curious into his wolf side because he sees the big wolf in the zoo. Is it a zoo? Exhibition place? I don't know.
It was the it was sort of a zoo. It was like the wildlife whatever conservation place that they had there, because she goes and becomes an assistant to the park rangers. And the first time she goes there for the interview, I like on a paper somewhere, she saw that they had a captive wolf there, And then they go down and they visit the wolf, and Ame's fascinated.
Captivated.
Captivated is probably a better word, but kind of in a bad way, because he looks at this wolf and he goes, this wolf seems so lonely, because he's an old wolf for one. And we learn that he's been passed around to like 2 or 3 different zoos. He was owned by a rich dude who just bought him and was like, I want a wolf, so he owned a wolf.
It's a wolf that was raised in captivity.
Yeah, it had never seen the light of wild nature.
It was so sad.
It was very sad.
Also, are wolves that huge? I feel like that wolf was massive.
Wolves are pretty big. If you imagine like some of the larger dog breeds, like a nice sized German Shepherd, like that's pretty wolf like. They get bigger than that, of course. This is when we get a lot of time skipping too, because we skip through a lot of the early years as Ame begins going to school as well, and we skip through like first, second, third year. They
do it in a very clever way where it's sort of sliding across the classrooms, and then you start seeing the different ages.
Yeah, the first year they have the mottos for each year and so on.
And then we see that Ame just straight up does not want to go, which kudos to him. School's a scheme. Did you enjoy that switcheroo where the wolf child eventually just doesn't want anything to do with the wolf side?
I kind of I expected like the divergence to take place. In my head, it was kind of a 50-50 about whether or not Yuki continues to embrace her wolf heritage or not. Of course, we know now that Yuki decides to go full human pretty much, and Ame is the one who I guess I didn't expect him to go full wolf.
Yeah, I thought he might have just become more like his father and just still go to school or whatever, but like go on the weekends, just go out hunting as a wolf or something.
Or like take or frequent this conservation place a lot more and just be like a ranger or something.
Yeah. That would have been nice. I did not see Ame going full guardian wolf.
Yeah. It was nice when he starts bringing up his master.
He said the sensei teaches me, and I thought to myself, oh, he found an old dude, or what is he? Did he find a spirit or something?
Yeah, he found the hermit in the woods.
And then he like, you want to meet a sensei? He'll probably like you. And then we meet him. What is it? A fox?
It's a fox. It's an old fox.
It's a big fox, isn't it? It's like not a regular sized fox. It's a big one, because foxes aren't usually that huge.
It could have been an abnormally large fox. He's also still a kid, so he's a small wolf as well. They make Ame look very wolf-like or fox-like. Also, they give him that really slender form that foxes tend to have. Wolves are usually a little bit more meatier, shaggier, more hair, but maybe that's on purpose.
I mean, he eventually develops those traits, but he was still like skinny. And two of the best scenes in this whole movie are the scene where they first see snow in the village.
Oh my god!
And then they go, yeah, because we kind of skipped over it. And
that's
they go
fine.
out
We can talk about it later in the favorite scenes section. Because
all right.
Yeah, I do like this moment though, where you see him running through the forest and learning things from the fox, which makes me wonder if somehow he speaks fox or you just kind of do it non-verbally. Like,
I think it's an animal thing.
Yeah, this is kind of also the moment when we're like only a little more than halfway through the movie, by the way.
Yeah, this is a long movie.
But also the rest of the movie kind of takes place in like the same time frame for the most part, because we skip ahead a little bit more. We get the two kids clashing with each other over. Yuki's like, you need to come to school. We're humans. She's no longer associating herself pretty much as a wolf, as even part wolf. She outright states she's a human, because we also skipped over this. She has a thing with one of her a new classmate, Sohei.
Yeah.
The first thing he says to her is that you smell like a dog.
She took that personal so hard.
Anyone would take that personally. She just also happens to be part wolf, so it's especially like, that sucks. And I'm going to be honest with you, I expected this to be the introduction of more Wolf Children, because he's the only one who it's the first thing he says to her. He goes, you smell like a dog. Do you have a dog at home? And she's mortified. She cannot believe the words that just left this kid's mouth.
She got the Mr. Crab surprise face.
Yeah, she full on is like,
it's sad because she goes to the bathroom, washes off.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Do I smell like a wolf?"
Yeah, she starts smelling herself, and then she leaves the bathroom, and Sohei's there too still, and he's like chasing her down. He's like, "What's wrong with you? Did I say something wrong?" And you did. You shouldn't tell anyone they smell like a dog at any point. She just also happens to be a part wolf. Eventually, he corners her accidentally because she tries to run through a locked door. He also makes the mistake of trying to grab at her. I don't know why he's doing this. It's
a kid not knowing that he's being aggressive.
Yeah.
Because he's still a kid, I guess.
Yeah. I think she's still in like second or third grade at this point, and Ame's in like second grade. But either way, she gets too flustered. She's trying to do, this is so cute. As she's running away, she's trying to do the spell that Hannah teaches her about 3 octopuses and 3 something else.
Is that what you got?
Why? What does this dub say?
I think it's "I will be a good little girl all the way home."
Oh, that's not anywhere close to
something like that. I found it cute because like when she learns that thing and she's like tucked under the bed, she's chanting it over and over again.
Whenever you feel like changing, just say it.
How does it go?
I'm gonna be a little girl all the way home. Simple, huh?
I'm gonna be a
little girl all the way home.
I'm gonna be a little girl all the way home.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah, it's pretty adorable. But when she does it here, it's really sad.
It's a little uneasy because she's trying really hard to not let the wolf out, and then it comes to a head. Sohei's trying to grab her. She throws him away, but not before transforming partially into a wolf. She cuts his ear pretty badly that it leaves scarring. So, and she's sitting there, breathing real heavy. She got like these blood red eyes.
Yeah, and then we also get like another. There's a lot of sad parts scattered throughout this film, which we kind of like skip over. But one of the big ones is when she's in the car and she's like, "Do we gotta move now?"
Yeah,
we spent like 5 years in this place where we like basically have a new life here. We're pretty good. We're pretty set, and now we got to leave because I made a mistake.
I tried to be good. I kept saying it, but it didn't work. Are they gonna kick me out of school? Will we have to move away because of me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's too much weight thrown on a small child's shoulders, but unfortunately, because of the position they're in, is just sort of inevitable.
Mm-hmm. But then Sohei, the absolute
Chad, the big brain,
goes, and it was a wolf. It wasn't her. It was a wolf.
Which is weird that we just kind of accept this fact after we've already called.
I mean, they
her
did it.
The
they just pretty much assume that she did it, but he won't admit to it.
Mm-hmm.
But he still kept the secret. He knew he kept the secret.
Yeah, he then pretends that he didn't actually see Yuki as the wolf form, that it was just some random wolf.
Mm-hmm. Even to the mom, she goes, "Did you see anything weird?" And he's like, "No, I just sort of saw like a wolf. I don't know where it came from, but I know it wasn't."
Yeah, but Hannah knows. Like we know that Hannah knows.
If anything, it's sort of nicer because he's like, I won't even tell the mom.
Yes,
I'm keeping this between me and her.
Yeah. He comes to their house every day and brings her snacks, brings her class notes, and then she finally decides she wants to go back to school again, and he's there. He walks her to school, and but not before showing him his badass ear scar. Pool boy,
you want to touch it?
You want to touch this? And then she does.
Well, of course she does.
I was originally going somewhere with this for like the future part, but I don't remember what it was anymore. Oh, I remember. It was the kids fighting. So Yuki and Ame have a fight with each other because Ame wants to go be nature boy and Yuki's like, no, you got to go to school. So they literally have a fight.
It was a hard scene to watch.
It's tough because
it's very hard.
Yuki has at this point, because of the incident with Sohei, made the resolution that she's never going to go wolf form again. And Ame's like, that's crazy talk. We're wolf people. He goes wolf form and growls at her and challenges her to a fight. So they start fighting and they start knocking over everything. This fight knows no boundaries.
Yeah, they knock over walls. Everything just crumbles down, and Yuki just straight up loses because she just doesn't know how to fight or do anything. She's long since forgotten how to be a wolf. I guess she just never learned.
Yeah, I mean, Master has done a good job of teaching Ame how to be more in tune with his natural side, but also, Yuki hasn't gone wolf form in forever or used any of her wolf senses in forever, so she wouldn't know how to win that fight. She gets some scratches on him. Ame has scratches on him and stuff, but when you see Yuki in the bathtub, like she's severely scratched up all over her back and stuff.
That was a very hard scene to watch because Hana couldn't do shit. What is she gonna do?
Hana comes in the room and she's just there.
I was half usually movies when they do this, I was half expecting her to try to step in and then she gets hurt and then the two kids sort of go, oh shit, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But they went a sort of more darker route where the fight continues and Hana just is powerless and just sits there and watches.
Yeah. And then eventually Yuki rolls into the bathroom, locks the door, and that's the end of it. I was kind of expecting also, because they knock over the dresser where the little shrine she has to Wolfman is. I thought at that point she was going to lose her temper or something, but she doesn't. And the fight just keeps going. I thought that would be the moment. Like she'd raise her voice and they both stop it like really loudly. They both stop and they go, oh, Mom's never yelled like this before. We fucked up big time.
I guess they never show her being any sort of aggressive person.
Yeah.
Because that's her character, I guess.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like it was never in her nature, but you would expect somebody in such extenuating circumstances to lose their temper every now and then, but she follows her father's advice and just smiles through most of the bad times.
Yeah.
You can only do so much.
So there's a thing that I saw on YouTube because while I was trying to figure out what next movie to watch, right?
Yeah.
And then I decided upon this one because I knew it was it's basically been on my plan to watch list for like 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was on YouTube and I typed in Wolf Children and then read the first result, Yuki's deaf.
Wait, what?
Usually when you type in these things on Google or something, they give you some stupid they give you a character name and then it's always deaf. Like if you type in One Piece Zoro, it goes Zoro's deaf.
And then it's an AMV or something, or
no, it's usually some stupid person trying to bait people.
Fair enough. That's how YouTube works.
So yeah, I saw this, and then when I was looking at trailers and stuff, I saw the scene, like the fight scene, like at the thumbnail for it.
Okay.
And then it was like the wolf fight or whatever. So throughout the entire movie, I was going, she's probably gonna die, isn't she?
I had the opposite. Having not seen a clickbait YouTube video.
Yeah, it was that little suggestion that sort of tipped it away from me.
Yeah,
but she doesn't. But still, like throughout the whole movie, I was waiting for it.
The whole movie, I was waiting for Ame to be the one who dies.
Well, right, that's sort of where I expected to go if I didn't read that suggestion on YouTube.
That's fair. And then something terrible does happen to Ame, but we'll talk about that in a little bit again.
Because what's it called? For that scene where he goes, don't go to school today, and she goes, what are you talking about? That's where I went, oh no, it's happening.
That's fair. I could see that.
So you imagine my what's it called, paranoia when they're in school and everybody leaves and the only two left kids are Yuki and Sohei.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then they show the flooding scene. I'm like, oh no.
That would have been a great time for the Sohei is also a wolf person reveal, and then he murders Yuki.
Yeah, I kept trying to figure out different ways if she kept, like, for that scene I thought she was gonna show it and he would have panicked and they would have fallen, he would have killed her or something, or that what's it called, the storm when it came in, the school would have been demolished.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine the amount of shit I came up with just for reading one sentence.
Sure, I can imagine your imagination running wild on this one for sure. That's good. For someone who like hates trailers and stuff, and I know you didn't even watch the video, but to have that one line send you down such a rabbit hole.
Telling you the whole and also the part where Ame almost drowns and Yuki came in, I was like, oh no, she's gonna be the one to fall.
She's gonna reverse drown.
Mm-hmm.
She throws him out the water, but also falls in at the same time.
Yep.
Yikes! I didn't expect it to be Yuki who saved him. By the way. When they don't show you who pulled him out, I expected somebody else to be the one.
If anything, I feel like it would have been the old man, and he would.
I also was expecting the old man. Yeah,
the wolf forms, and then just been like, well, I've been old enough to see this a couple times now.
I'm too old to be dealing with this shit. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So it's big boy rainy season. Everybody's being sent home from school. So we're calling the parents in to pick kids up. Hannah gets the call. The whole time she's been pleading with Ame to not go to the mountains again, because she's kind of seeing what kind of path he's going down and she doesn't like it. So she's been pleading with Ame recently to not go up to the mountains anymore. So she keeps a watchful eye on him like 24/7 pretty much. But she takes this call from the school, goes to get ready. And when she comes back to get Ame so that they can go pick up his sister, he's gone. She catches him on his way out the door. Another thing we've skimmed over. This is the latest in many heavy rains they've experienced, and in one of the last ones, Ame discovered that his fox master broke his leg and is like on his deathbed pretty much.
Yeah, this is the frequency of the storms coming in and destroying nature, and he's like, my master's sort of dying.
Yeah, so Ame feels that as the apprentice, basically, it's his job now to take care of the forest, and Hana has a choice to make, to either chase her son or go pick up her daughter from school. The choice was fairly obvious. She goes and chases her son into the forest. I'm assuming
she made the deduction that the Yuki was probably safe in school. Yeah, it's a whole building and there's a staff around and all that.
Yeah, so we come across Mama Bear. Hannah's briefly very worried for her life. Mama Bear's just out for a walk with her 2 kids.
Did you think the bear was going to attack?
No.
And then Ame was going to come in and save him?
It was a possibility. I can't say the thought didn't cross my mind.
I thought that was how it was going to play out. That the bear would have attacked, then the wolf would have came in, saved it, and Hannah would have seen the guardian aspects, I guess.
That's fair. That could have definitely worked in the movie. But no, we get 2 little children come and distract Mama Bear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have made even more sense too, because a mama bear like that is probably the most likely bear to attack you, because she might perceive you as a threat to her kids. It's probably a creative decision that they thought about. Who knows? She continues on, falls down a muddy slope, ends up passed out in the forest while it's raining.
I don't know. You described that like she just tumbled down. No, she rolls down a mountain.
Yeah, she rolls down a huge ass hill, hits every branch on the way, ends up passed out at the bottom.
She sees the father, the wolf man.
Ame's fine, trust me.
But
he's an adult. He knows himself.
An adult?
Ame knows where he's supposed to be.
She wakes up conveniently just at that moment, sees Ame walking away again, calls out to him, laments the idea that she never really got to do anything for him as his parent. Obviously not the case, but because she's feeling extremely inadequate.
This is what you want? Aren't I supposed to have taught you something important in life by now? What have I taught you?
Ame takes that personal and just he goes up the mountain.
Yeah. So instead of responding to his mother, he runs up the mountain, and Hannah, thinking that she's been rejected by her son, who she's never going to see again, starts crying. He runs up to the top of this mountaintop, and he howls at the top of his lungs. And Hannah realizes that she might not have done everything right, but she still raised a good boy.
That's where she goes, all right, I guess this is actually where he belongs. Can't really hold him back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice moment.
Yeah, it's a very bittersweet, albeit kinda anticlimactic moment. But how do you end a movie like this?
Yeah, how do you end a movie like this? But I don't even think this movie was never meant to have like a big moment, like a big ending thing. This is like an overcomplicated slice of life. Because there's no magic.
Yeah.
There's no like warriors coming in trying to beat them up. There's no secret society. There's no like real enemy. There's no bad guy in the movie.
No, I mean, what you're saying makes sense. Just calling this movie a slice of life just doesn't sound right, no matter how you put it.
It is, though. It's a slice of life.
It is the closest thing you're going to get, but I don't know. Normally, you associate slice of life with a lot more, I guess, uplifting or...
No, there's slices of life like this. There's shows where, like, the character is a witch. Like, there's one specific one I'm thinking of where the character is a witch, but like witches aren't really that powerful. They just kind of like float.
Or I mean, the slice of life that comes to mind is the what's I can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. Dango
Clanad.
Yeah, that one. Clanad's a slice of life, but it's
Clanad's a bit weird though, because
sad.
It's mostly sad, but that one's a bit weird because it's based on a game which has magic in it, sort of.
Right, that's the little fairy things, but either way, that's the end of the movie.
Well, no, you get the scene where they skip again, and Yuki's out in middle school. I don't know. It feels strange watching those two kids just bounce on the mom.
Yeah, we get the final narration bit of Yuki being like, and then I moved off to middle school dorms and left my mom all alone in the house after our brother ran away to be the forest guardian. And it feels very weird. You very much feel for Hannah in these moments.
She seems fine with it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she talks about, I wish I had written the quote down, but Yuki narrates the quote about how in that moment when the sun rose and the rain had gone away, how everything looked like it had been reborn. She was at peace with her son's decision and the way her life was going again.
Mm-hmm. I like the little the little moment where she hears the howl and she like perks her ear up and is like, that's my boy right there.
Yeah, it's nice. I had to blast my volume for that because it's extremely low, or at least was coming out low.
Hear it?
Well, when I was watching it the first time, I didn't hear anything, but you see her put her hand to her ear, and I was like, am I supposed to be hearing something? And I cranked my volume all the way up to 100, and then I could hear the wolf howl in the background.
Damn, that's
mostly just the speakers on my laptop problem. But
you use speakers, you use headphones?
Yeah, I just was using the speakers out loud.
You're a madman.
Why? There's nothing going on in my house.
So it doesn't mean anything. You don't get the full effect with the shitty speakers in your laptop.
Maybe.
I hate you right now. You didn't experience this movie, bro. You just watched it.
How dare you? How dare you? Anyway, that's the end of the movie.
Go rewatch it with the headphones on.
Yeah, I will do it right now. We'll get rid of this entire file and we'll do it again.
I will send you some Sennheiser headphones. Whatever those are called. I'll give you some Beats. You want Beats?
I don't want Beats.
All right, some AirPods.
All right, I'll take anything but those and Beats. I don't want AirPods either.
AirPods are nice. All right. Well,
that's the movie.
Good recap of the movie. I didn't really want to do the recap.
Yeah, but we did. I don't know. It felt right.
It's such a long movie. It's like hard to describe the movie and so many plot points and so many little things that happen.
But yeah. So, do you want to do real quick like favorite moments? Because I do want to go. I do want to go back to the snow scene.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Do we want to say we're combining quotes and favorite moments?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, we don't need quotes here. I didn't even write down quotes.
There's only one, and it's the scene where the father goes. Every apartment is like its own little world. He's describing how his moving job is.
Every apartment is like its own little world inside. Some families have money, some don't. 5 people live in that one, and there, just 2. Some are full of kids, others all old folks.
And he's like, man, I kind of want one of my own so I can come back home, kick off my boots, and sit in a comfy chair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mood right there.
Yep. And then Hannah goes, "I'll welcome you home."
Is that what she says in the sub?
Something like that.
Oh no! In the dub, she goes, "If you wouldn't mind, can I also be part of that life?"
Yeah, she says like, "And I'll welcome you," and then Keeps it short and sweet.
And then there's the scene where he's Ame's in the woods with the wolf, or I mean the fox. Those are some killer stuff. Like just watching them interact with nature, and then climbing up that mountain, and he sees the sunrise or the sun. What was it? It was like a lake, right?
Yeah, it was like a mountaintop lake or something like that.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And then you know what the best scene in the movie is. The scene I'm gonna say for an A and B.
Yeah, this scene, this is like the exact halfway point of the movie. Cause I paused this once so this is the part where they see snow on the mountaintop for the first time, and this whole thing from start to finish is just so goddamn good. They starts with they throw open the doors, and they see all of this snow on the ground, and all three of them are in wonder of it. You have to imagine Hannah's seen snow before already, but something about being out in the wilderness in the middle of buttfuck nowhere has to have a different effect on you, because it's not the city. You see the snow-covered trees, you see your whole yard. The kids run out in the snow, they're playing in it. Hannah jumps on top of them. Everybody's giggling and laughing. We get on some snow gear. We go running through the forest. The kids are getting in wolf form, and they're just dodging and weaving through the snow. All of this is animated as is one rolling scene. There's like next to no cuts in between stuff. Yeah, we reach the peak of a hill through the forest, and it's just a downward slope of snow. You know, you imagine like a ski slope. It'd be perfect for snowboarding or something. And the kids go running down in their wolf form, zigzagging in between each other.
And then they have a little fairy tale scene where Hannah rolls down, and then she like grabs herself. She holds her position, and then she starts sliding down like Rocket Man or something.
Yeah, she's standing straight up and still sliding down like she's moving on a platform down the hill, but then she loses her balance again.
Kind of them X Games moment. She's like, I can ride the snow.
And then nope, and she tumbles forward again, and you can see every clump of snow that gets kicked up from all of their movement. The music reaches this peak as we finally hit like halfway down the hill, like a stopping point. Everybody howls at the sky, falls back and laughs, and the music reaches this crescendo, and this is the magic of this movie.
If it would have been just this, if you would have had like a short film of just this, I would have been like, this is pretty good. This is pop. You can keep this alone. This alone carries the movie if nothing else did.
Good.
It's really good. Like if nothing else worked, and it did, all of that stuff worked. But if nothing else worked and you had this scene, I would still recommend this movie just for that. I recommend Your Name just for the scene where he drinks the sake. The rest of the movie, honestly, I don't really care for. It's an interesting concept, and it's beautifully animated. But the sake scene is really what carries that movie for me.
That is a fair assumption, but I do kind of like most of the rest of the movie.
You were there when you saw it. I was like, yo, pay attention to this part.
Yeah. No, this snow scene is, if you told me like this is what they animated to, like they own the studio, so they just made the movie. But if this was a studio they didn't create and make for themselves, if you told me like this was the scene they brought to somebody to show that this is what the movie was going to be like, I'd believe you 100%. There's so much, like, you want to talk about the detail in the first frame, there's buckets of detail just shoveled into this scene, and it's so nice. Without a doubt, the best scene in the entire movie.
It is really good, and I sort of hate it a little bit, like 2%, because I know how these movies roll. I know these happy scenes always happen right before the messed up shit comes in.
Yep.
Always.
This is immediately followed by Ame almost drowning in the river, the same way his father went out. Presumably, we know he definitely drowned. It's a matter of like what happened, and it was probably like this. He probably was chasing an animal, fell in the river somehow, some way, and then he drowned. And then Ame almost goes out the same way, albeit a little stupider because he trips over his long ass scarf.
Who's to say the father didn't have a scarf either?
Fair. He didn't have it anymore when he got shoveled away into that garbage truck, but
horrible.
Yeah, so yeah. It is this moment too where you go, this is going too well. Something's got to happen, right? Like this can't possibly go unchecked.
And like I told you, the whole movie I thought Yuki was gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you a few other scenes I kind of liked, but none of them would live up to the snow scene. Yeah.
I think we're done. We're out of here.
Yeah, that's it.
We don't need to do plugs. How do you want to end this? Go watch the movie if you haven't. You're a monster.
I mean, definitely go watch the movie.
If you actually listen to this whole conversation.
I don't know how you listened to this entire podcast and didn't think to myself, I want to watch this movie, but please go understand the genius that is Mamoru Hosoda and his brother in arms, Saito.
He's got a whole team, but those are the founders.
Yeah, they founded the studio. Hosoda's the director, producer guy. These are his ideas.
Yeah, he co-wrote this, and we're gonna be watching the other ones. But eventually,
go watch the whole catalog. They're so good.
The one I really want to see is Mirai.
That's the second.
That's the one that came out. Yeah, that's the one that came out before the recent one.
Yeah,
he's only done 3 after this.
Yes, Boy and the Beast, Mirai, and one that I didn't realize had come out was Belle.
Belle, based on the cover art, looks like an homage to classic anime characteristics.
I would say that. Oh, that reminds me. After briefly looking up the movie, I read that the guy who did like the character designs for Wolf Children did the character designs for Evangelion, and upon reading that, you can immediately recognize it.
You understand why the eyes are a little wide?
The eyes are a little wide. Everyone's pretty slender. They have that really slender physique, no matter who you are. The like head, facial structure, all very Evangelion-esque.
Stick around for the preview for the next one we're gonna do. We might do a few non-casts between that there and there. But
do I get to know now? Dylan can cut this.
Okay. I'll tell you. We're done here.
All right. Love you.
Later.
Don't drown in a river.
Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully this was a solid 30 minutes.
Nah, surely it's at least 35.
Next time.